Hello, and welcome back. Let's see what's happening in the world today. Raid on Indian news site over China funding claims. Police in Delhi, India, have raided the home of several journalists and authors in connection with an investigation into funding of a news website called NewsClick. Officials are reportedly investigating allegations that NewsClick got illegal funds from China, a charge it denies. NewsClick is a current affairs website which is known to be critical of the government. The coordinated raids at 30 locations on Tuesday are some of the largest and most extensive on India's media in recent years. Opposition leaders have called it the Bharatiya Janata Party's government's fresh attack on the media. However, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has denied any involvement of the government, saying that the investigative agencies were merely doing their job. Well, as much as I would like to think that India is free from bias and scrutiny, I still am very much inclined to believe that China is definitely running propaganda in every country on earth. Therefore, it's a 50-50 circumstance. Let's see how it plays out. Moving on. Trump turns up at New York fraud trial to blast scam. Former President Donald Trump attended the opening of a fraud trial in New York Superior Court, where he and the Trump Organization, several executives and two of his children are accused of fraud, falsification of business records, issuing false financial statements, and conspiracy. The trial could threaten his business empire. During the trial, Mr. Trump attacked the judge and prosecutor, calling the judge a rogue educator and the trial a scam and a sham. The former president's lawyer attacked the New York Attorney General's argument, while the Attorney General's team accused Mr. Trump and his co-defendants of internationally and persistently committing fraud, which reaped Mr. Trump over $100 million. The case will be decided by Judge Arthur Engoron, not a jury, and none of the defendants will face jail time if convicted because this is a civil case, not a criminal one. Well, they are really going after Trump in every possible manner they can possibly think of, despite the fact that the amount of fraud done by the Biden family is far more provable and far more obvious. Nothing's happening there, so clearly there is a bias within the justice system of the United States, which is unfortunate. Next, India tells Canada to withdraw 41 of its diplomats. India has demanded that Canada repatriate 41 diplomats by October 10th due to strained ties between the two countries over Canadian suspicion that the Indian government agents had a role in the murder of a Sikh separatist leader. India has dismissed the allegations as absurd and has threatened to revoke the diplomatic immunity of those diplomats who remain after the deadline. Canada has 62 diplomats in India, and India said that the total should be reduced by 41 people. This is a very sad development that's happening between India and Canada. Unfortunately, this cannot be resolved simply because Canada and India don't seem to be seeing eye to eye on this situation, and Canada seems to be persistent in pursuing this circumstance, claiming that India is involved. Therefore, we'll have to wait and see how these two countries decide to resolve their differences in the coming months. Next, Physics Nobel Prize rewards science on a tiny timescale. A 2023 Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Pierre Agostini, Ferenc Krauss, and Anne Lou Heiler for their work on creating extremely short pulses of light that can be used to measure the rapid processes in which electrons move or change energy. The experiment produced pulses of light so short that they were measured in attoseconds, which is equal to 1 × 10⁻⁻18 of a second, which can be used to capture image of processes occurring inside a tiny atom and molecules. The winners will share a prize money of 10 million Swedish krona, or equivalent to 800,000 pounds. Well, now that we are able to see the very precise movements of electrons, maybe we might learn more about how the universe actually works. And the last news of the day, Visa to invest 100 million in generative AI. Visa has announced a new 100 million generative AI initiative to invest in companies focused on developing generative AI technologies and applications related to commerce and payments. The investment will be curated by Visa's global corporate investment arm, Visa Ventures, which has been working on supporting innovation in payments and commerce since 2007. Generative AI is a type of AI technology that can produce various types of contents, including text, imagery, audio, and synthetic data. According to Visa's Chief Product and Strategy Officer, generative AI has a promising future in the financial world and will meaningfully change commerce in ways we need to understand. My biggest fear is when AI starts to prove that the whole banking system is actually biased, how are they going to deal with that? Considering AI either has to be created biasly, or if created without any bias, is going to show all the bias in the system. So we'll have to see how they deal with this in the coming days, but I am very skeptical that they are going to actually implement this on a wide scale, considering AI will definitely prove that banks have been biased and prejudiced towards the smaller businesses and the average Joe. Well, thank you for staying to the end of the video. Please like, share and subscribe. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.